All right, we got a call on this place about a year ago, and then again recently about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And this system here at this apartment has been failing for quite some time, but they finally decided it's time to fix it, I guess with enough complaints from the tenants. And let me just show you how bad it is. It's bad. It's completely full. So it's time to get it fixed. I'm glad they're moving forward with it. We got that permit just issued, so we're here to get started. Tomorrow a pumper's coming out early in the morning to pump that water level down, not only to make it easy on me with this repair, but also to give the tenants some room to be able to flush, do showers and that sort of thing. But the first thing I want to do is clear out some of this brush, and then we're going to cross trench and find these leach lines a little bit further away from the tank. And the main thing I'm looking for is, do these leach lines have water in them? Are they saturated, or are they dry, or is there just a ton of root debris in there? So that's going to give us a lot of helpful information right off the get-go. So let's clear some brush out of the way and get started. I'm going to give you a little bit better of an overview here. House, the building drain line comes out. We have our septic tank right here. You can see inlet riser, outlet riser, and from what we understand, there's 2 leach lines out here that run out a ways. I'm guessing one's going on the right side of this tree, maybe the other one's on the left side of the tree. I don't know if that stair landing was built over one of the leach lines or not, but either way, there's also a very big bay laurel tree in the back. We have a water meter box right over here, and that water line, I'm guessing, comes across right here over the top of these leach lines to this pipe we can see here stubbed up alongside of the house. So right now, my concern before I start potholing too much is I want to verify and make sure this water line is running right through here from the water meter box. That's right at the edge of the street right there. You can see that bit of blue. So let's pothole, find this water line, and then once we get that found, we'll do some digging out here and see if we can locate these leach lines. Digging to find the water line, found it here, and I'm seeing some gray staining right next to the water line. Found some sort of a sewer cleanout cap here in this F8 Christie box with that sewer lid, and started feeling some gravel in here. Found the water line again, but I think this is effluent coming right up through the ground, and that means to me this leach field out here is completely flooded, and which is not the best news. I'd rather find roots and be able to remove roots and get a system working again, as opposed to finding saturated soils. But hopefully we can dig these leach lines out and scrape out the biomat on either side of the existing trench wall and get this thing to drain again. But let's get back after it tomorrow. All right, little update out here on the job. We have found a D-box over here. It's a D-box riser on top of a D-box, and we found this leach line coming out this way, and the leach line went this way, or goes that way, comes back over by the street and back over to that side of the D-box. So basically it's like a perimeter trench in this area, which is really not typical. Usually you'd have a D-box and a leach line going out, and then solid pipe to another D-box, and then a leach line going out. But in this case, we have one D-box and a perf pipe that goes in a square or rectangular shape all the way around. So really sludged in drain rock, and we had the pumper out this morning. We actually dug a pothole beside this old leach line, allowed all this water to drain out of the gravel, pumped all that water and effluent out from basically the bottom of the leach line. We did the same thing here, and we are going to abandon this leach line that is under the water service line. And that's really the main change here at this project, is that we're gonna install it meeting our 5-foot setback to the water line. So I'm not sure why that was done that way, but either way, we're gonna make it better and correct that issue. So we got a lot of trenching to do. A belt truck's on his way here, probably gonna be here within an hour. So I got a lot of digging to dig out this old drain rock and pipe so that that belt truck can shoot that new rock in here. So let's get to work. Castle is gone. That belt truck worked great though for this little box type leach line that we built here today, and it would have been difficult, you know, just with this machine getting gravel all the way around, right, with that little bobtail dump truck over there, wheelbarrow by wheelbarrow, or we would have had to bring a loader in here. So those belt trucks work great. I use them all the time. I build mound systems with them, at grades with them, sand filters with them. And yeah, it's real handy. You don't even have to dump the gravel out. But I've said that quite a few times on this channel, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But you can see here we come around, come this way, over, and then we tie back in to where we started from. So I'll say it again, I'm repeating this many times, this is not the usual leach line configuration. But personally, I don't see a real issue with it in terms of its performance. I have no doubt that the effluent will make it to the D-box and come all the way out through this entire leach line. Absolutely no doubt that will happen. In fact, if there were ever root intrusion here, because that D-box is feeding out into this leach line from both sides, any root intrusion in this line, if it were to happen somewhere, is not going to prevent the rest of that leach line from seeing effluent, because again, the effluent is feeding into the leach line from both sides. So Not a bad thing, just unusual. And one thing I wanted to point out, you saw we were using a rake and we were scarifying the sidewalls of the trench. That's going to help this system a little bit. It's super sandy soil, but if you're digging in wet ground with a backhoe bucket installing leach lines, if your bucket is swiping through the earth, it could, just the pressure of that bucket passing through the dirt can smear the sidewalls of your trench. If there's really any kind of clay content in the soil, and that smearing kind of plugs or blocks off the pores in the soil and limits the absorption. And you can see those rake marks right there. So we just use a steel tine rake, and we do what's called scarifying. As a professional septic installer, I can tell you that there's lots of soils that if you're trying to scarify with a rake, you are absolutely doing nothing, because the rake, you're just nobody's strong enough to really scarify the sidewall of the trench quite well enough with a rake, especially in harder clay ground. So sometimes it's a useless practice, but we did it anyways here. It was very easy to do. You can see a little bit of it there. Just good practice, standard practice, I should say. So yep, there you have it. We'll wait for inspection on Monday and get this place backfilled and cleaned up. All right, we just had our inspection out here with the County of Sonoma, and we probed the depth of the gravel, measured the length of the lines, and we have been given approval to backfill and get this place cleaned up. So we're gonna get this little machine warmed up, hop on there, and get this front yard restored. So let's get after it.